Alice was born under a fortunate star. House Lumina, her family, stood as a beacon of magical prowess. Generations of their lineage had mastered the arcane arts, their names etched in the annals of Moniyan history. Alice, with her innate talent, was destined for greatness. She was the golden child, showered with love and expectation. Her path seemed clear to uphold the family legacy, but fate, it seemed, had other plans. From a young age, Alice devoured every book in the grand library of House Lumina. She excelled in her studies, mastering spells with an ease that astounded her tutors. Her parents beamed with pride, seeing in her the culmination of generations of magical mastery, yet Alice felt a pull towards something darker. A forbidden knowledge whispered in the shadows. While her family focused on the elements, Alice found herself drawn to the forbidden texts locked away in the deepest vaults of their library. The allure of the unknown gnawed at her. She craved understanding beyond the accepted, the permitted. What lay beyond life? What secrets did death hold? The whispers of necromancy, a power deemed dangerous and unethical, called to her like a siren's song. Necromancy. The very word sent shivers down the spines of even the most seasoned mages. It was a power deemed too dangerous, too unpredictable. The laws of Moniyan were clear. Dabbling in necromancy was punishable by death. Yet Alice found herself irresistibly drawn to its allure. The forbidden texts spoke of manipulating life and death, of communing with spirits beyond the veil. Her curiosity, once a thirst for knowledge, morphed into an insatiable obsession. She began her clandestine studies in secret, hiding her forbidden texts from her family. The more she learned, the more she realized how little she knew. The line between life and death blurred in her mind. She saw the flow of energy, the potential for manipulation. Alice felt a thrill course through her veins, a mixture of fear and exhilaration. She was playing with fire, dancing on the edge of a razor, but the danger only fueled her desire. Her family, oblivious to her dangerous path, continued to praise her progress. They remained unaware of the darkness slowly taking root in their daughter's heart. They saw brilliance, not the obsession that consumed her from within. They saw dedication, not the dangerous path she carved for herself. The night crackled with anticipation. Alice, after months of preparation, stood ready to enact the ritual. She had chosen a secluded clearing in the whispering woods, far from prying eyes. The air hung heavy with the scent of damp earth and the promise of magic. She believed she had mastered the incantation, that she could control the forces she was about to unleash. She was wrong. The ritual started smoothly. Arcane energy crackled around her, responding to her will. The air grew cold, and a sense of dread settled upon the clearing. But as she uttered the final words, a surge of raw power ripped through her. The very fabric of reality seemed to tear, and a chilling howl echoed through the night. What emerged from the rift was not the benevolent entity Alice had hoped for. Instead, a creature of pure malevolence, its eyes burning with ancient hunger, clawed its way into the world. Panic seized Alice. She had unleashed a horror. A being of unimaginable power, fueled by darkness and despair. The creature turned its baleful gaze upon her, its intent clear. Alice was responsible for its release, and now she would be its first victim. Section 4. Rebirth of Shadows. Terror gave way to a desperate courage. Alice knew she had to act, to contain the monster she had unleashed, but she was outmatched. Her magic paltry against the raw power of the abyssal entity. Yet she wouldn't stand aside and watch it wreak havoc upon the world. She would face her mistake, even if it meant her demise. Gathering her remaining strength, Alice channeled every ounce of her magical energy, not to attack but to contain. She wove a spell of binding, a desperate gamble to trap the creature within herself. The backlash was immediate and excruciating. Pain ripped through her, her vision blurred, and the world dissolved into a cacophony of screams and shadows. When the dust settled, Alice was no more. In her place stood a figure cloaked in darkness, her once vibrant blue eyes now glowing with an eerie purple light. The creature from the abyss, now trapped within her, raged and thrashed. But Alice's sacrifice held. She had become a vessel, a prison for the very evil she had unleashed. Her body, her very essence, was irrevocably changed. She was now a being of immense power, but at a terrible cost. The darkness had seeped into her soul, twisting her from within. Section 5. A heart consumed by darkness. Alice's reflection in a stagnant pool of water was a stranger. Gone was the bright-eyed young maid, replaced by a being of ethereal beauty and chilling power. Her once golden hair flowed like liquid night. Her eyes burned with a haunting purple light. The transformation ran deeper than flesh and bone. The darkness had seeped into her very soul, warping her emotions, twisting her perceptions. Guilt gnawed at her, a constant reminder of her folly. The weight of her actions, the lives lost when the abyssal entity briefly broke free, pressed down upon her. Sleep offered no respite, only haunted visions of the creature's rampage. The once vibrant world now appeared drab, muted. Only the flow of magical energy, especially the corrupt whispers of necromancy, held any allure. She was both jailer and prisoner, forever bound to the monster within. The world she knew, the life she once cherished, was gone. Her family, heartbroken and horrified by her transformation, could no longer recognize the daughter they once loved. Alice was alone, adrift in a sea of darkness of her own making. She embraced the isolation, believing it to be her penance, her deserved punishment.